Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is more of a personal share. Something came up in my life recently where I felt compelled to actually use a conventional medical treatment. And this may be surprising to a lot of people because here, even on my channel, we're focused so much on natural health care. And this made me think that I actually have a criteria. I actually have limits where when I reach a certain limit, I am all for conventional Western modern medicine. And so I want to share this experience with you and also talk about that criteria. What are my limits? And I think this will be interesting for you to hear, not just getting this little window into my life and how I process things, but also for you to consider as well. What are your limits? What are your criteria? Are you more prone to doing nothing and letting nature take its course? Are you somewhere in the middle using natural treatments? Or are you on the further side using only Western medicine, only what is conventional and popular? So here we're probably all a range, although if you're a regular on this channel, you are probably more on the natural side. But I think this is important for all of us because we can tend to stick to our sides. For some people, this defines us. I am a natural health practitioner. So sometimes I actually feel a little guilty for considering a Western medical option. I'm kind of over that now. What happened today, I am very firmly rooted in my choice, and I'll bring up a few others where I didn't question it as much. I just knew it was the best decision for me. So let's get into this, friends. Let me tell you the story first. I just adopted a beautiful little 9-week-old kitten. Her name is Fern, and yeah, she is just adorable. We already have 2 adult cats, so I think I'm a little crazy taking her in because not only am I caring for her, I'm getting her used to our home, but I also need to integrate her into this cat family too, which isn't quite happening yet, but we will get there. Anyway, we discovered Sunday night when we brought her home, actually, that she had fleas. It wasn't until the next day we realized she had a lot of fleas. Like so many fleas, I had to give her a flea bath yesterday. So that was 2 days into her being at our home. And then I realized that the situation was even worse than that. She still had the fleas after the flea bath. I was starting to see debris, the dried blood, and I won't get too graphic, but we realized that she also has a tapeworm problem too. That really, really grosses me out. And I love Fern so much. I don't want her to suffer. Just the idea of them being in her really disgusts me. So that's my limit. And today I went out and I bought a conventional wormer, and I actually tried to get her into a veterinary office to see if they could do something quickly about it. I didn't care how extreme. I wanted it to be quick, painless. Of course, I wanted to know about all the side effects, but I was able to find a dewormer at the pet food store, which is supposed to work fairly quickly. So hopefully by tomorrow we will be on the other side of this and then just dealing with cleaning up the fleas. So here I'm talking about my family, my pet family. But certainly I have had to deal with my own health, the health of my son, even for my husband, offering him advice when he's trying to make a decision about his health care. So I just want to go over some examples of when I do nothing, when I choose natural medicine, and when I do choose conventional Western medicine for me, my family, including my pets. So when do I do absolutely nothing? When do I let nature take its course? That actually happens Not that often. You might be surprised. I think a lot of people may assume that I don't do anything. And that's not true. I often use the tools that nature and the earth have provided to us. I don't believe in suffering. And really, I was sitting here trying to think of when I do absolutely nothing. It's only when I am purposefully trying to build up tolerance. So in a meditation practice, if I'm uncomfortable, sometimes I'll just sit there and experience the pain. So that is very intentional. I know it's going to pass as soon as I'm done with the meditation and move. So it's not something that's harming me. It's more of a way that I'm challenging my mindset, and it's really helpful. So I'm not seeking something right away to remove this discomfort from my life. So that is one example where it's a very good idea to do nothing and just see how your body's working it out. I mean, I guess occasionally with a common cold, I will do nothing, or I'll start a treatment and then forget about it and end up doing nothing because I know my body can heal on its own. But of course, there's usually some uncomfortable symptoms with that. So it's very rare that I do absolutely nothing. I will still adjust my diet. I will still do a neti pot rinse, a nasal lavage. I will still have honey with lemon or lemon essential oil. So I totally believe in using what nature is providing because I don't think we are meant to suffer. When we are sick, when we are unwell, this is an opportunity to connect in deeper with ourselves and with nature to build that connection. And this healing process is so validating that we are supported. And again, yes, the body supports us anyway. Some people just work with prayer. I usually bring that into the equation too. But again, I don't believe in suffering through symptoms. Very rarely does it get me very far. So, other examples of when I choose natural medicine then. If it's a temporary illness, if I know that just a little bit of support to help with the symptoms or a little bit of support to build my immunity, so taking probiotics, using herbs, using acupuncture, doing qigong. I mean, a lot of these are used for treatment as well as preventative. So when we're talking about doing nothing, I mean, of course, I do a lot of preventative care. That's where I am mainly. And then when I do get sick, when there is an imbalance, I work with natural medicine. So other examples, when I have the tools. So when I have the tools at the ready, it's typically at home, I use essential oils. Like with my kitten, I'm spraying essential oils all around the room to help with the fleas right now, in addition to vacuuming. So I'm not doing nothing. That could actually make the issue worse if I were to do nothing. And sure, her body would eventually clear out the worms, but only after we get rid of the fleas. So we have to stop fostering a healthy environment for the fleas to grow before her body can heal. So I'm like throwing everything at the situation in order to help her. And I have no problem with that. So same with other things that might come up for me with my body and with my son and my husband. And I will say that actually my son is more on the side of doing nothing. He's a teenager now. Not all teenagers are like this, but he's in a phase where he's not wanting my care as much. And he's like, I'm going to get better anyway. And I'm like, I know you're going to get better. And so he sits there and suffers in his room, but he's never really that sick. So anyway, I can't think of, only little illnesses, common colds, the stomach bug. I will still put essential oils on my belly to relieve any nausea that may come up. I don't get headaches when I have muscle tension. Again, I use essential oils for that. I stretch, I do yoga. Yeah, I don't really get sick that often. So the list may be longer if I were. Now, with conventional Western medicine, I brought up this situation with my pet. My cats don't really get a lot of medical care. Again, my focus is usually on the preventative side through diet, probiotics, making sure they're eating the right food that doesn't cause any discomfort, grooming them often so they don't have hairball issues. So thinking ahead that way. And even with this situation with my little kitten and the fleas, like, I'm going to be doing a lot of preventative care from now on. After we use this serious medication and remove them from our home, then it'll be preventative care focus. So the situations where I've had to use conventional Western medicine, I've actually brought up here before. I did a video a while ago when I was doing the 30 days of wellness, I believe, when I was having an issue with my teeth. A tooth had died, and I was on the fence as to whether I should just get it pulled. And if I were to get it pulled, do I just leave it empty? It was a molar, so you couldn't really see it. Do I just leave a space there, or do I get an implant? On the other side was a root canal. And there is so much. This, I will say, is a detriment to the natural medicine side. There's a lot of issues that can come from having a root canal, but I feel some of them are overplayed because there are definitely risks and benefits to both sides. I was seriously like equal on the fence, and then just decided it was the easiest to just get a root canal. So I did in that situation. And I didn't know if I would have a reaction to the metal for the implant. I kind of felt like the root canal was going to be the safer bet. So again, I shared about that a few years ago. Haven't really regretted my decision, although I don't know if I would make it again in the future. And again, I am focused more on preventative care. I do not want to have that situation ever again. Another example is when I had to have an emergency C-section. When I had my son, I was planning a completely natural birth, still in the hospital, but I had a doula. I had a long list, mainly just saying I didn't want any interventions at all, and I had like the complete opposite of what I wanted. But I chose that. I wasn't okay with it. It took me a long time to heal from this decision. But at the time, I felt I really had no choice. My son's heartbeat was failing. It was decreasing. And they were like, we have to get him out. And I was okay with that. I was okay to do anything just to make sure I had a healthy baby. So this is really what it comes down to for me. I, again, am mainly on the natural medicine side, trusting my body and how it works with nature, with the tools that are ready here. When I choose conventional Western medicine, it's usually because I am terrified, I am desperate, and I have no choice. I have no other choice. And I feel like the side effects are manageable. So that's like the only reason I would go to that side. And that's an important thing for me to know about myself. Because when I am in a position where I'm indecisive, I could be like, okay, is it really hitting all of this? Or is there something else I need to consider? Who knows? Maybe this list is not complete. There's something else I can't think of right now. But that's interesting for you to think about as well. And here, maybe you're like on the other side. Maybe you're using conventional Western medicine all the time. That's what you're used to. That's where your faith is. I mean, really, this is all about faith. Where do you have your faith? In what system? But maybe you're on that side and you're not aware that the side effects you're dealing with here, which really is the issue. That's why I am not living over on this side as much, because the medicine is powerful. It's definitely powerful. It is quick. That's why I want it in desperate times. But there are usually always side effects. And they're not solutions that I would want to look to all the time because of those side effects. And because oftentimes how you're treating is not improving health. It's treating a big problem. It's getting rid of a big problem, but not always treating the root. Why did it happen in the first place? Again, going back to my kitten, she has a lot of health we can build up. She's pretty skinny. I want to bulk her up a bit. I want to make sure that she has a very balanced diet. I want to bring in the probiotics, all the beneficial microorganisms in her body, so she's not as susceptible to parasites. Here I scratch my head as I'm talking about that. Oh my God, I get so grossed out. But anyway, we'll be fine. Anyway, if you are on this conventional side all the time, again, you may be suffering here without realizing that you would be much better being here in the middle. And every once in a while, considering doing nothing. Like, how much faith do you have in your body? Can you consider that? The faith in your body, the faith in nature. That you are supported. You don't always have to go to extremes. And sometimes people also feel that they need this extreme solution because they are afraid all the time. That decisions about health bring up a lot of fear, indecision, and disempowerment. They feel safer on this side because of the doctors, because the medical doctors, the veterinarians, the dentists. So, do you always place your faith and trust over here, or is there room for you to be more balanced? I am so eager to hear what you think about all this as you consider it. Let me know in the comments below, and know that I am always here for you if you are needing help finding that middle ground. And I am serious that I am perfectly comfortable here. A lot of my patients in my acupuncture practice still use Western medicine a lot. They know there's differences between us, and I totally respect that with them, and my patients respect me and the choices I make for my body. I feel like that is a healthy place for us all to be at. So again, I hope this was interesting for you, and even if I've made a choice that's different from you, can you respect that too? Can you place yourself in my shoes and, knowing that I have so much faith in the tools I have, like I'm really okay there. Can you imagine being in that place too? Trust me. So, I am trusting that everything is going to go well in my home. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, you could put those in the comments below too. And I will see you again soon, friends. Take care.